I hope he doesn't get any of those reps. But very opportunistic. We have a phrase in our program, CTOTTY, catch the ones they throw you, and he is very opportunistic. A lot of that's, the quarterbacks are facing a great deal of pressure, right? Now, it's not necessarily physical pressure, it's mental pressure. What Coach does schematically is a very tough challenge to know anything that's happening before the snap. So I think a lot of times quarterbacks are thrown into what they think they are going to see, and the answer ends up changing in the middle of the play. And that's a very hard thing to simulate game speed-wise for our quarterbacks in this preparation.
We got two more questions here. There's one here and then Leo.
Bret, as you work on filling out this coaching staff, how, if at all, has the pitch changed just given what you guys have done in your first 2 years at Illinois? Or the interest, I guess, in being part of it.
For being on our staff?
Yeah.
I think, what's amazing to me, I can't imagine what Zach's going through. So when I had to make my first staff, right, I remember I kept 2 guys from Coach Alvarez's staff. We played our last game here in the Outback Bowl back then, and then I basically let 9 coaches go, right, off a team that went to a bowl game. And I was very emotional about it, and ironically, as the world plays out now, the person that helped me get through that was my mom, right? She knew I was very distraught, and she said to me, we actually played a home game against Michigan and won that game, and I was just kind of sitting over in the corner. I knew that the next game was going to be a bowl game, right? And she said to me, I know you're upset about what you're going to do with this staff. And I said, I am. And she goes, well, keep in mind, this staff was Coach Alvarez's staff. You got to make your staff, right? And that was a huge turning point for me because that's the way I kind of began to view it, right? And that's when I made some transition. Next year we won 12 ball games, right? And I didn't know coaches at all at that point, right? Now I'm 52, getting ready to turn 53 here in about 15 days, and I just know so many more people, right? And I've never hired a friend, right? Now I've hired former players, and actually, when I gave Aaron a job, he said, I didn't think you'd name me because you always say you don't want to hire a friend. And I said, you're not a friend. And I kind of said it like that, and I didn't mean it like that. You're a former player, right? But he has become a friend, right? But I just don't ever believe you don't want to jeopardize a relationship. I have to be the head coach, right? And to be quite honest, I'm close with my staff, but I also learned early on, like if I become too close with certain coaches, it becomes cliquish, right? So I've really kind of surrounded myself, my inner circle are guys that aren't in football, right? And then my coaches, but I've gained interest from guys that are on bowl teams, guys that are in NFL. It's really been amazing. Now Josh affords us the ability to pay him well too. So I give a lot of credit to Josh and the administration because it's financially a good move to coach at Illinois as well.
All right, Leo, last question.
And for both coaches and Coach Bret, we'll start with you. When you start the season, your goal is to be one of those 4 teams in the college football playoffs. When it doesn't happen, Tampa, 80 degrees on New Year's Day, that's not a bad alternative, is it?
No, it's and Zach said it best, right? This has got to be a reward. There's obviously byproducts of getting your team, younger players reps, and all that goes into it. But as soon as I heard, this bowl, I've known Jim and his family, been in the Outback Splash, the spring event, been down here to that several times. My wife's from Tampa, so we couldn't have drawn it up any better to come down here and spend a few days, and especially the weather the last couple of days has been pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, our program, obviously there's a particular game on Thanksgiving Day that we prioritize over all others, and our guys handled business and got the win in that one. And obviously as a reward, it got them to be here on January 2nd in Tampa and this beautiful weather, and we're certainly enjoying ourselves, and then we get to play a heck of an opponent again. So, I'm going to echo it again, right? Bowl games are about the players, right? It is a reward for the season they've had, the work that they've put in, and the success they've had. And both teams have had incredibly successful seasons, and they should be, the players should be commended for that. And I know as coaches, right, we're honored to just be the guys who get to work with them on a daily basis, and we're excited to watch them line up and strap it up one more time and go at it on January 2nd.